Hello, my name is Myles Cephas. I'm a senior here at UMSL, studying sports management with a minor in marketing. I'm currently working with the Chicago Cubs. A brief overview of the organization: they're a Major League Baseball team located on the north side of Chicago. Pretty self-explanatory organization. Some of my roles and duties there, I work with inside sales. So what that consists of, the Cubs have a wait list of over 50,000 people. I sell season tickets to the wait list, and I also sell groups. So anyone or any group of 15 people or more, I sell to them seats for them. Some of my established goals for the internship. So it is a 1 year program. One of my biggest goals is to find an opportunity to grow, whether it's within the organization or with another professional team. I think I would want to stay with a professional team. Um, did I achieve my goals? Not yet. I'm still working there currently. I won't be finished there until July. As of right now, I've gotten the opportunity to meet with a lot of people within the organization, and then I've also met with some people that work for the Bulls. So I have a couple of connections. I also met with people that work with the White Sox as well. So I have a couple of connections with people within some of the other organizations or Chicago sports teams that I would be interested in working with. So far, what did I learn? Uh, I've learned a lot within the organization. Is definitely my training with sales has been a big help for me. I think that it's kind of tested some of my skills already that I have, and it's kind of um, what's the best word? It's enhanced some of the skills I have. I was already kind of, I would say, solid at some of the things that it takes to be a good sales rep. And my training with the Cubs has definitely improved it with just conversations, speaking to people. I have to talk to people every day on the phone, being more comfortable, just sparking conversation, getting to know people, networking. Um, I think that has been one of the biggest things. I'm trying to think of a specific thing I've learned though. Um, I would just say the biggest thing is like, well, I mean, Dr. Baleska has preached this a lot, but just networking. Um, Now that I'm like inside of like a true job, I can see how big networking really is. Um, so I would definitely say networking has been one of the biggest things I've also learned. Some of my biggest takeaways from my internship so far, um, I'm not sure. I'd have to come back to that question. What growth have I personally had in my sports management career? I think that I wouldn't necessarily say just with this internship, but just for me going from being a student athlete, not really knowing where I would be as far as with working in sports. Like 2 years ago, I went from working with a collegiate summer baseball team, then working with my athletic department to now working for one of the most prolific Major League Baseball teams in the world. So I think that says a lot right there with my growth in my sports management career. And then I think that um, at the rate that I'm working, like I mean, I've been working my butt off. I feel like the sky's the limit. I feel like I can just keep elevating myself and keep growing to get to bigger positions. And there's no telling where I can't go as long as my mind is set on it. I feel like I can get anywhere. What's one thing I would tell my younger self? Um, One thing I would tell my younger self is to probably to not give up. Um, like I said, I didn't picture myself getting this far within sports. Um, I thought it was kind of like a long shot to end up making it to a professional sports team, especially one as big as the Cubs. So I would just definitely say that you can really achieve anything as long as you put the work in. That's been one of the biggest things. I feel like my hard work these last 2 years, 2 3 years, has definitely contributed towards the success I've seen. and where I've gotten myself to now. Some of the advice that I would give to incoming students, definitely network. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to join some of the groups on campus. That was another way that I got going with sports. Like I said, I started off with a summer collegiate baseball team. That was part of like where I didn't see if I was really intrigued with sports. And then Dr. Boleska invited me to go to Final Four in New Orleans, and that was great. And that was when I really knew like I really want to be in sports. And then I had another opportunity to work the NFL draft in Vegas later on that summer. So kind of taking yourself out of your comfort zone and going on some of these trips, just putting yourself out there. I would definitely say that's some of the biggest advice. And then making sure that you're networking on these trips, meeting people, because some of these people may be people you'll see down the road in sports. Sports is so well connected, or being in sports, you're so well connected. Everybody's connected in some way. You'll meet somebody that you met maybe a while ago. Like somebody you can meet on one of these trips, you could possibly be asking them for an interview down the road, and they could possibly remember you and help you out in that way. It's all about networking. Advice for current sports management students, I would say the same thing. Don't feel like you shouldn't go on some of these trips, or don't think that you can't ask questions. And I would just say to network, make sure you're asking a lot of questions, and then just taking as many opportunities as you can to further your career, because everything that you're doing will ultimately help yourself down the road. That would be some of the biggest advice I can give to current sports management students. And then advice about the sports management program and courses. I know podcasts can be a little bit tedious and they can get pretty annoying, but there's a lot of good information in there. Like I know a lot of the sales podcasts that I listen to, I kind of breezed through them, and then I found myself going back to them when it came time for me to work in sales. And they had a lot of good information on how to be the best sales rep I can be, and how to be all in all, like, well, some of the other ones were like interviews, the interview process, resume process. Like those podcasts have a lot of information that ultimately help you with bettering your career. So I would say to pay attention to those, actually listen to some of the information that's shared on those. And then once again, don't be afraid to ask questions. Dr. Boleska is a big help. She'll help with anything. So I would definitely say to just use her as a resource, because she's definitely willing to help. I'll go back to the question. Some of my biggest takeaways. I would just say working with a team that big, with being with the Cubs, is like you get to just be like a sponge and soak up a lot of knowledge, and honestly a lot of cool experiences. You get to see a lot of cool things going on within the ballpark, and then also within the front office. Get to meet a lot of great people. A lot of the people in the organization are very friendly, willing to help you with furthering your career, whether it's with the Cubs or just even moving on and getting somewhere that ultimately be better for you. I think that's probably one of my biggest takeaways. And then also like a lot of the fun activities we get to do as a front office. Like we've had a front office softball game on the field. We've had like golf outings, shuffleboard outings. Like we get to do a lot of cool events as a group, and I think that that's probably some of the coolest things that I'll always remember with being with the Cubs, is not only like the work that I put in, but the camaraderie I gained from the group or the front office that I've been with. Has been pretty cool. And then all in all, my conclusion, I think that working in sports is honestly a blessing. It's pretty cool to be an athlete on the other side, and now I get to work behind the scenes, kind of making the team one of the biggest things that some of the people in our organization say is like, without us, the ticket sales group, games wouldn't be the same, because we're the ones that bring fans out. We're the ones that draw attention to the games, or bring the attraction out to the game. So um, it's just cool to see that side going from being the person on the field or on the court to now being the person behind the scenes, making sure that those players can have an audience. Because I thought that we were the people that really just like athletes were the ones that bring the attention. Like we do to an extent, but we have to find a way to make fans really want to spend their money to actually come watch these athletes. So it's cool to see the behind the scenes action on what draws fans to games.